So a few weeks ago, we got a letter from Aston Martin asking if we'd like to attend the private launch of their new Zagato. And of course, our answer was very, very yes. But we wanted something a little bit more in-depth and exclusive. So after pulling a few legs, here we are an hour before the doors open to their invited guests, and we've got the V12 Zagato here uncovered all to ourselves. I think this is a MyDrive exclusive. So what is the new Zagato? Well, in many ways, it's a commemorative project. It's been built to signify 50 years since the original DB4 GT Zagato. They're only building 150 of these. They built 19 of the original DB4, and there's a really nice link between the two numbers. 150 today is the same percentage of cars that will come out of the factory this year as 19 was with the original DB4. So even though the number is a lot more, it's still the same ratio of exclusivity. It just signifies the growth of Aston Martin over the years. It takes 2,000 man-hours to put one of these cars together as well, so they really couldn't produce all too many more. So the underpinnings of this car are essentially V12 Vantage. It shares the same engine, the same gearbox, the same chassis, the same drivetrain. It's a V12 Vantage. It's more of an aesthetic and design project than anything else. And they've done a pretty damn good job, I can tell you that. Key features of the design? Well, it's really got to be this roof here, the classic Zagato double bubble shape there. I had the pleasure of talking with Morik Rickman yesterday, the car's designer, and he shared this fascinating story from Zagato. Apparently when Zagato was first out racing, they cut the roof down on the car for aerodynamic reasons, but then the next day they realized that the drivers wouldn't fit in the car with their helmets. So overnight they got out some hammers, bashed up the roof, and created the classic bubble shape that has been synonymous with the Zagato design ever since. Moving round to the back of the car, well, the back really is, I think, the key piece of the design. It did look slightly outrageous at first in some of the photos, but it's the kind of car that you have to see in the flesh to really appreciate. It is beautifully sculptured. The back of the car has been designed to look as though it's a cobra. That was part of the design criteria. It had to look like a cobra ready to pounce at you as it flies past you on the road or on the track. This is a functioning rear diffuser, rear spoiler as well. That's optional. You can have a nice sleek flowing line if you want as well. This is chassis number 3 here. This is the car that's doing the tour just to show off to new customers, and it's just about finished, apart from this, which is still perspex, but that will ultimately be glass. When you get around to the front, you can also see the classic huge nose of the Zagato, and if you look within the detail here, the grille is made up of little Zs for Zagato. You've also got a new front splitter here, and a nice little air intake there. It's very functional, this car, very aerodynamic. So the inside then, well, it's the same as pretty much every Aston. It's, well, I'd say quite Vantage-esque. You've got these carbon fiber bucket racing seats. You've got the Alcantara steering wheel, this wonderful carbon fiber flowing dashboard. But probably the feature of the interior has got to be this embroidery, this red stitching, which we first saw on the S. You've got the stitching here on the seats, on the dash, but in particular on this roof. Now, many people might say that that's a bit over the top, but to be honest, I quite like that. So it's ostensibly Aston. It's the same as what we've probably all seen before, but it's just that little bit nicer. It's got that Zagato touch, like the rest of the car, really. Now, I can't believe they're letting me do this. They've given me the key here. It's quite a nice key, your emotional control unit, crystal Aston Martin thing there. In neutral, foot on the clutch, foot on the brake, one motion. Undertones of the other Astons, but there's something more agitated about the way that it sounds. It sounds more aroused. Yeah, I'm going to go with the word aroused. I'd say that's enough. I'd say. So there we are, a pre-launch tour of the new V12 Zagato. In a few minutes' time, the doors will be opening to their exclusive guests so they can have another hands-on look as well. And then tomorrow, this car goes all the way back to the UK. And what an honour it's been. And hopefully, this has been an exclusive. Our date with the new V12 Zagato.